The morning sun glimmered across the vast iron gates of the Chen estate, painting the golden details with an almost heavenly glow. Yet inside those gates, what unfolded was anything but heavenly. A woman in an elegant emerald dress stood tall, her face twisted with disdain as she tilted a heavy bucket of dirty water over an older woman and a little girl. The liquid cascaded down, staining their clothes, splattering across the ground, while the child clung in fear to her grandmother. The sound of the gates creaking open masked the roar of a black luxury car pulling in, and from it stepped Marcus Chen, the billionaire heir everyone admired, but few truly knew. He froze in disbelief, his eyes locked on the cruel act before him, and his world shifted in an instant. Marcus had always been a man of precision, living by schedules, business meetings, and boardroom decisions. But on that day, he had decided to come home unannounced, eager to surprise his mother, Diana, and his 7-year-old daughter, Lily. After weeks of relentless travel, he had dreamed of spending a day with them, laughing in the garden, perhaps even planning the upcoming wedding with his fiancée, Victoria. He never imagined his homecoming would instead unravel the darkest truth about the woman he intended to marry. Diana was a graceful woman in her 60s, a widow who had raised Marcus alone after his father's passing. Her strength, dignity, and quiet resilience had shaped him into the man he was today. Lily, his precious daughter, had lost her mother when she was just 2 years old. And since then, Diana had stepped into both roles, showering the child with unending love. For Marcus, his mother and daughter were not just family. They were his anchor, his heart, his very reason to keep moving through the ruthless storms of business and power. Victoria, on the other hand, came from a world of grandeur and ambition. She was stunning, eloquent, and always immaculately dressed. To outsiders, she appeared the perfect match for a billionaire, a woman of beauty and status who could carry the Chen name with elegance. Yet beneath her polished exterior was a coldness that Diana had quietly sensed, though she never voiced her concerns to her son. She endured Victoria's subtle insults, the dismissive looks, the way she treated the household staff, all because she didn't want to plant doubt in Marcus's heart. What Diana never expected was that this woman's cruelty would one day spill over onto Lily, her innocent granddaughter. That morning, while Marcus was still on his way back, Diana and Lily had been playing near the grand fountain. Lily had been picking wildflowers, her laughter echoing in the courtyard when Victoria arrived in her gleaming gown, clearly agitated by their presence. She scolded Diana for letting Lily run around and for spoiling the image of the estate. Diana, with her soft patience, merely apologized and tried to gather Lily away. But Victoria, filled with contempt, decided an apology was not enough. She retrieved a bucket of dirty water meant for cleaning and without hesitation poured it over them. The water hit with a cruel splash. Lily screamed in fear, her tiny arms wrapping tightly around her grandmother, while Diana, soaked and trembling, tried to shield her with her frail body. Victoria smirked, her eyes glinting with a twisted satisfaction. "This is what you deserve," she whispered to herself, convinced no one of importance would ever know. But Marcus had seen everything. His breath caught, his fists clenched, and his heart felt as if it had been stabbed. For a moment he was too shocked to move, unable to comprehend how the woman he thought he loved could be capable of such cruelty. He had adored Victoria, defended her, even envisioned a future where she became a mother figure for Lily. And now, in the blink of an eye, those dreams shattered like fragile glass. Slowly, he walked forward, his shoes echoing against the stone driveway. Victoria turned, startled, and the color drained from her face when she realized he was standing there. He said nothing at first, his silence louder than any words. His eyes burned with disappointment, betrayal, and an anger so deep it made Victoria tremble. She stuttered excuses, trying to twist the moment, blaming Diana for being clumsy, blaming Lily for misbehaving. But Marcus saw through every lie. He knelt down beside his mother and daughter, his expensive suit soaking as he wrapped them in his arms. Lily sobbed into his chest, whispering that she was scared, while Diana, her voice calm but breaking, told him not to worry about her. But Marcus knew better. This moment wasn't about spilled water. It was about dignity, love, and respect, things Victoria had trampled without remorse. The engagement ended that very day. Marcus didn't raise his voice, didn't argue. He simply looked Victoria in the eye and told her to leave. Her protests, her tears, her desperate pleas to reconsider meant nothing. Because in that courtyard, under the golden gates and the wide open sky, Marcus realized that no amount of wealth, beauty, or status could ever replace the simple truth of kindness. News of the broken engagement spread quickly through society, with whispers and speculation filling gossip columns. But Marcus didn't care. He spent the following days focusing entirely on Diana and Lily. He planned little surprises for Lily, from picnics in the garden to bedtime stories he had missed telling. He sat with his mother over tea, listening to her wisdom, cherishing the quiet moments they shared. Slowly, the shadows of that awful morning began to fade, replaced by the warmth of their love. What Marcus learned was that true love was not found in someone's charm or outward perfection, but in how they treated the people who could do nothing for them. Victoria had failed the test, but Diana and Lily had reminded him that life's real treasures were the bonds of family, the power of compassion, and the courage to walk away from toxicity. In the end, Marcus's story is not just about betrayal. It's about realizing that true wealth lies not in gold or diamonds, but in the love that holds a family together, even when the world tries to tear them apart. And sometimes it takes witnessing cruelty to fully understand the priceless value of kindness